you tired of the desert sand? Are you tired of constantly listening to the politics of two failing factions? Are you tired of having your cap stolen by those darn casinos? Come and take a trip to our nation's capital. Take a walk down the National Mall and learn all about America's pre-war history. Interact with the locals.
My turn to be the rating. Bye.
Take a relaxing dip in the Potomac River. There's so much fun to be had waiting in the Capital Wasteland. I just...
The game was rigged from the start.
Tale of Two Wastelands is one of the greatest ideas I have ever seen for a mod pack. It is everything I have ever wanted out of a standalone file game. It has completely changed the way I experience these games. For those who don't know what this mod pack is or does, let me explain. Tale of Two Wastelands takes the engine of Fallout New Vegas and all of its improvements over Fallout 3 and combines it with all of the content of Fallout 3 and its DLCs, turning them both into one massive Fallout game with a few changes and added bonuses. That's right, the mod pack combines Fallout 3 and New Vegas into one massive package. You can fully explore all of the Capital Wasteland and complete all of its quests and side content, and when you're done, you just hop on a train and ride over to the Mojave Wasteland, and then complete all of its quests and side content. Or you could just, do what I did.
Gotcha.
Hey, I only did it to stash my shit. I went there the correct way when it was the time. Plus, we all know that New Vegas' player homes are way better than Fallout 3's empty shacks.
Hey, yo, the Coca-Cola's here. Oh, nigga! Ah! My ears burn!
But I digress. Tale of Two Wastelands is a mod I think all Fallout fans should try out. Not only does it combine the two games into one massive package, possibly adding an extra 100 hours of gameplay to one save, but it also adds some extra content and even changes some things to improve the overall experience. However, the mod isn't just a simple drag and drop like a lot of mods are now today.
Drag and drop! But I drag and drop!
It has quite a lengthy install process, and you need to own both Fallout New Vegas Game of the Year and Fallout 3 Game of the Year for it to work. Ayo, shout out to Gopher for the install tutorial. If an idiot like me can get it installed, you should have no issues. Now for my first playthrough, I'm not using any massive mod packs like Begin Again or anything. I just wanted a base level experience to truly see what the mod does, with a few selection of mods I thought would improve gameplay slightly, but not anything major.
No.
I am in no way an expert modder. This was actually my first experience modding a game that wasn't the Fallout 4 mod page for console. But the premise of this mod was enough to pique my interest to get me out of my comfort zone and install it. And I gotta tell you, it's been great. From the first time launching the game and seeing that loading screen, being able to select either Fallout 3 or New Vegas to start my playthrough, I was ecstatic. Not just because I actually got the mod working, but because I was about to experience Fallout in a new way. And not just Fallout New Vegas, but Fallout 3 as well. Because almost every Fallout New Vegas fan has seen this game modded to hell and back. However, I rarely see much gameplay or talk about Fallout 3 modded. So I was excited to witness the game being modded for, well, the first time. But as much as I think this is a perfect way to experience Fallout, it does have a few issues that I found while playing, that in my opinion, kind of makes some parts of the game a little boring and annoying. But we'll talk about that in a minute. First, I want to talk about the interesting way this game handles traveling between Fallout 3 and New Vegas, because it handles it in a pretty interesting and lore-friendly way. So when you start a new game in TTW, you'll get the option to choose to start the game in Fallout 3 or New Vegas. The mod will suggest you start the game in Fallout 3 because it technically takes place before New Vegas, but if you don't, you'll miss out on being a little goo goo gaga baby.
Look straight into the light now. James and his cheerly chatter. Decorations. May your future be bright. This place will feel just like.
Why is he black?
Come on, walk it.
What?
Just a little further.
Why is he black?
You can do it.
What the fuck?
You can make it.
The fuck? Bruh.
Over here.
I wasn't expecting that, dude. I was gonna make
You
a
can make it.
I was gonna make a joke because
Just a
technically
little further.
in New Vegas you can find a picture of your mother and father
Come to daddy.
from this game, and your mom's black, so you would be light
You can
skinned.
make it.
I didn't expect to be
Over here. You can do it.
The game doesn't outright tell you how to travel between maps. I was hoping that when I finished Fallout 3 story, a new quest would appear directing me where to go, but sadly it did not. When you're finally ready to leave the Capital Wasteland, what you actually need to do is travel to this location called Columbus Circle, a new location created for the mod that's based on the actual real-world location in DC. Head inside and there will be a few enemies to deal with. Head over to these blast doors and a quest will appear. Oops, I forgot one. Head on over to this door. In my opinion, this door model was a bad choice. It took me a moment to realize you could actually go through these. Even base Fallout really doesn't even use these. Anyways, go through and head down through this subway's utility tunnel. So, you come here often? How's the weather been lately? Yeah, I kind of wish it snowed here a bit more. Once you reach the reactor room, kill all the ghouls and do whatever else you need to do and turn it on. Once you're done, head back up. You will now need to switch on 4 switches around the room to lower the blast doors. This shouldn't be too hard. Besides this one I can't fucking get to. Fuck! Once all 4 switches are flipped, walk to the center of the room and you have now finished the quest. You may now enter the blast doors. Kill all the ghouls around the room and head down to the train platform. And there she is. I'll ride out of here. Now, to get our ticket out of here. Walk over to the terminal in the center of the room and you'll have 3 options. Pay 50 pre-war money, hack it and get a free ticket every time, best option. Or rig the terminal to accept caps, in which a ticket will cost 200 caps. Get your ticket and head into the train. Huh. Weird music. But once you're finally ready to say goodbye to the Capital Wasteland, don't worry, you can come back later. Head over to the switch on the wall, and you may finally now leave. The game has 3 years pass by, kinda to give the lore implication that along the way you became a courier, where you're sent to deliver the platinum chip in Vegas, where unfortunately, Benny gets a hold of you. And you can skip this, we've all seen this before. But you know where else that sends you? Right to Doc Mitchell again. Woo, baby! We made it back! You go through all the same stuff, all the same yapping he does. But once you get to the Vigor Tester, it just skips everything else and you're finally free to leave. And you're now free to go and play New Vegas.
What kind of place is this?
But let's say you chose to start New Vegas first. In order to get to the Capital Wasteland, all you really need to do is go to Freeside and head over to the Union Station. You know, the area where Pacer gets into a firefight with the NCR. You'll notice that the building looks a lot less run down compared to normal. Head inside and simply go down to the bottom. And then you're basically done. There's no enemies, no quest. Just buy a ticket the same way, hop on the train, and go to the Capital Wasteland. All you basically do is head through Columbus Station in reverse. And now you're in the Capital Wasteland. Sadly, now you're stuck in the middle of DC, and you have to hop through all the metros to get anywhere. You can start Fallout 3's story by talking to the usual people in Megaton, but I don't have a father.
What's a father?
I didn't grow up in a cozy life inside of a vault, so fuck 'em. I mentioned earlier that this mod unfortunately has some issues. Well, things I consider issues that you might not. But before I get into that, I think it's only right that I show and explain the good that this mod does first. On top of TTW being a massive mod pack combining 2 Fallout games, it also acts as a massive game patch, fixing a lot of issues the games still have today. Because we all know a certain company loves to just abandon their games once they finish releasing content for them, regardless of how old it is. Throughout my playthroughs of both games, I never had issues with NPCs just not doing what they're supposed to do, or quest items disappearing. I did have one NPC disappear in me, but they weren't important and I just respawned them later. Oh dear, I cannot seem to find Scribe Yearling. Where am I going to put all my pre-war books? Oh well. Hello. That, however, did not remove my habit of constantly feeling the need to quick save. It was a nice change of pace from the original games to not have to work around the bugs for once. There were a few small issues. But nothing massive that would need console commands or reloading an old save to fix. One change I was surprised to see once I found one was that TTW changes the buffs received from the Fallout 3 bobbleheads. Instead of the usual +1 special or +10 skill points, all of them have been updated to give a brand new buff related to each of the bobblehead skills. They also swapped out the Big Guns bobblehead for a new survival version. I'm not going to spoil them all for you, that's for you to play and find out for yourself.
Hey dog, you get some ice cream? Only a spoonful.
Another really cool thing this mod does is restore a lot of Fallout 3's old cut content. Scattered all throughout the capital wasteland, you'll find a plethora of weapons and armor that aren't part of the base game. Even after finishing Operation Anchorage, you're met with a whole bunch of new weapons and armors that the base game didn't have. They annoyingly fixed the power armor though. Sadly, the addition of cut content doesn't extend over to Fallout New Vegas. It appears they tried to keep Fallout New Vegas as pure as they could, only changing things when deemed necessary for the mod to work. Thankfully, almost all of New Vegas mods are compatible with TTW. So if you want to install the cut content mod for New Vegas, you're free to do so. If you want to know what cut content has been added to the game and where to find it all, as well as what mods have been confirmed to have issues with TTW, head over to the install page for the mod. They have a Q&A where all this info can be found, as well as a bunch of other info regarding installs and changes and all that other info. TTW also adds a bunch of new challenges, perks, and changes to existing perks to make them better or fit better in line with the changes the mod makes. The mod also includes all of Fallout 3's and New Vegas' perks, plus gives you one perk per level up and raises the level cap to level 60, for a total of 60 perks by the time you're max level. However, I would like to state that somehow through it all, junk rounds is still a worthless perk. TTW also makes changes to Fallout 3's kind of bland guns. They now allow them to use different ammo types that Fallout New Vegas offers, and for some rounds, even adds new ammo types to craft and buy. They also allow you now to ADS just like in New Vegas, and the mod even gives some guns iron sights that didn't have them previously. But on top of all that, TTW also adds at least 1 to 3 weapon mods for each gun to really spice up the gunplay. My favorite is the fully modded combat shotgun. Shops and vendors are a big change in the mod. Everyone is used to vendors like Gunrunners and Mick from Mick and Ralph selling weapon mods and reloading supplies and such. Well, now every gun vendor in Fallout 3 has the same inventory to match. They sell everything from weapon mods, reloading supplies, different ammo types, Fallout New Vegas style weapons and grenades, etc. And even in New Vegas, some of the kind of nothing vendors, like the caravans that roam around the map, have a better selection of items. Even Chet is actually worth using now. TTW adds so many new small elements to both games that I can't list them all in one video. And I'm not. I encourage you to download TTW for yourself and find out all the little cool things this mod adds and changes to the base games. Before I get into what I deem the bad of TTW, I would like to state that this is all my opinion and I am in no way an expert modder. I have no knowledge of the work and effort it takes to make something like this. I think this mod is a fantastic way to experience Fallout, and it is 100% playable in its current state. And if you want to download it and play it right after watching this video, you should have no issues doing so. I have nothing against the amazing people who worked on this mod and continue to do so. However, it seems that this mod currently does not have any major development behind it besides some small tweaks. As of right now, February 2025, the official forums for the mod have been set to read only, and some of the most recent posts are from early 2024. Yet, the mod pub page where you download the mod says it was last updated on October 24th, 2024, as of making this video. The former and current devs of this mod could be 100% fine with the things I'm about to talk about. But I think as an aspiring content creator, like and subscribe, I think it's the only right thing to do is to show you the good and the bad of this mod. Remember, this is all my opinion, and yours may differ. If you have anything you'd like to share, let me know in the comments below. Any info, insight, or just general discussion would be appreciated. So, we all know the economies between Fallout 3 and New Vegas are completely different. In Fallout 3, a full durability 10mm pistol is worth about 200 caps. In New Vegas, it's almost 700. So that will ultimately cause some issues between the games. And the mod does try to balance things out. However, I think it still could use some work. Most vendors never have more than about 300 to 700 caps depending on what type of vendor they are. In the beginning stages of the game, these vendor prices are perfectly fine. You will most likely never have an issue selling things. But if you're a gremlin like me and you grab every gun you find to sell later, this quickly becomes an issue. All Fallout 3 weapons are reasonably priced. However, at around the level 15 to 20 mark, enemies like Talon Company, Raiders, and even Super Mutants start to carry better and more expensive weaponry. And that's where issues start to arise, in my opinion. These guns will often sell for 1,000 plus caps. The issue is no vendor has that amount of caps to trade with. So almost every single time I went to a vendor, I had to buy a bunch of ammo, stim packs, and whatever else they had just to offset the cost of maybe 1 or 2 endgame weapons. This would require me to constantly have to travel to and from different vendors to sell all my stuff. I even broke down and installed a vendor mod to help me get rid of some items. He's a goofy little guy.
Damn!
When you reach New Vegas, things get a little better since vendors on average have more caps and more stock, like the NCR Quartermaster or the Great Khan Armory, but I still needed to constantly travel to different vendors to sell maybe 1 or 2 endgame guns. The Gunrunners vendor has a max of 900 caps, which is a little bit more than 10% of what he normally has. Now, I'm not saying he should have his standard 8,000 caps, but it would be nice to have just a little bit of an increase to this amount, or just take another look at how expensive certain items are. Because at level 30 plus, every high level enemy has a gun that's worth 500 to 1,000 caps easily. But then there's another thing that makes the economy a little bit worse to deal with. Well, actually 3 things. Base Fallout New Vegas adds challenges for you to complete, and some of these challenges comes with perks and buffs. Well, one of the challenges they added to TTW is called Barter Town. This challenge is simple. Sell and buy 10,000 items to vendors. Sounds kinda hard, but remember, 1 bullet equals 1 item. So you'll probably earn this quite fast. The perk you earn for completing this challenge gives you the buff, items at vendors cost 10% less. And this challenge has 3 ranks to it. Meaning, once you finish, items are now 30% cheaper at all vendors. But it doesn't stop there. Remember how I said the mod also changes the buffs bobbleheads give you? Well, the barter bobblehead also decreases prices by 5%, for a total of 35% price decrease at all vendors. Kind of ridiculous. There's even a level up perk you can get that decreases prices even more. I purposely didn't choose this perk for obvious reasons. Selling is troubling enough. I don't need it to be worse.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Again, I'm not a modder. I don't know how one would go about improving or changing this. But in my opinion, I think it'd be better if the barter bobblehead would increase the amount of caps all vendors have by 500 or 1,000. You know, kind of like the one speech skill you can get in Skyrim. Or keep the bobbleheads the same and change the Barter Town perk to say vendors have 250 more caps per rank for a total of 750 in the end. But I personally think the economy being a little bit of a mess is one of the big things that hurt this mod. It's not a major issue, but it's one I still think should be looked at a bit. Because some guns being worth maybe 200 caps at max durability, while some guns being worth 3,000 caps at max durability, is a bit of a stretch and should be looked at again.
Who won the lottery? I did! Smell that air! Couldn't you just drink it like booze? Bye.
My second issue with the mod isn't that big of an issue. It could be a me issue with something with whatever this means. But for most of my Fallout 3 run, I wore the winterized T-51B armor. And once I got into New Vegas, I switched over to the NCR riot gear. Well, before I reached New Vegas, I noticed that when I was wearing power armor, most of the time enemies would only target my helmet. I was constantly repairing my helmet while barely needing to ever repair the body. But once I switched over to the riot armor, it was the opposite situation. The body was constantly needing repair while the helmet was never touched. I tested it, and yeah, when you wear these armors, enemies do appear to favor the helmet or the body more than the other. It seems to be a light versus medium versus heavy armor situation. But then there's the issue of my armor constantly needing to be repaired. It seems like after any major fight, my armor was always less than half durability. If you know what's going on, let me know in the comments, because if I can fix this in any way, I'd like to know. Now obviously, both of these issues are not major at all. They are just 2 small little things that I noticed in a massive mod pack that is almost perfect in every way. Like I said before, if you want to go install this mod, go ahead and do it. If you follow the online guides, you should have no issues installing this mod and playing it. Oh, and one last thing. I know it's part of the Broken Steel DLC, but for the love of God, please remove the heavy incinerator from the enemy loot pool, because I can't fucking see! Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my yapping. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed. It would mean a lot to me. I am almost at 1,000 subscribers, so your sub would mean a lot to me. Also, if you want, consider downloading this mod and giving it a try. I'll leave a link to the install pages and the forums in the description, as well as my socials if you want to follow me elsewhere. Join the Discord if you want to talk, maybe see video previews early, and get notified when I post and go live. Thank you all to the amazing people who worked on TTW to make it an amazing experience. And again, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.